One day, Moon and Hung, who are the report analysts for VU Media Corporation, received a task about creating a story related to reducing the carbon footprint of the workplaces in Australia. Hey Moon, I have good news. Finally, I got all the data we need, and after analyzing, it shows many interesting findings. I have to show you now. Look, this is the purple map which shows the amount of CO2 emissions by countries in 2014.
Wow, it looks so beautiful. And obviously, China, United States, and India are on top.
You're right. Here, the top five countries about CO2 emissions in 2014: China, United States, India, Russia, and Japan. And you know what? They contributed more than 60%, while the rest of the world is only about 37%.
It's an amazing visualization home, but just a reminder worldwide result is not the thing. We need to concentrate on Australia, especially within the workplace.
Oh, Moon, you always straight to the point. Don't worry, I'll discuss Australia soon. But first, let's take a look at top 20 countries. Do you know where we are?
Let me see. Ah, here it is, the red column. You really know how to make it outstanding home.
Thank you. As you can see, more than 360,000 kilotons CO2 were produced in 2014, and Australia was ranked in 15th place. But it's not something to be proud of. Okay, let's move on and compare Australia and the United States and China as the biggest contributors.
I can see China, United States, and Australia are illustrated by the color of black, blue, and orange. It seems like China was going up, United States was going down, while Australia is obviously stable.
I quite agree with you, Moon, but let's focus on Australia.
Oh, it's turned out there is a bit fluctuation in Australia. Among the decade, the year that got the highest figure was 2009, when approximately 394,000 CO2 kiloton was produced. The first 5 years increased, but then went down. I think it might be a good signal for reducing CO2 emissions.
Probably. Now, let's see what happened in each state in 2015. Again, bubble map is used for general view.
It's not very clear, but I can see Queensland is on top, next is New South Wales and Victoria. Hang on, why is Tasmania is blue, not red like others?
Good question, Moon. But before answering it, I need you to see the graph showing the CO2 emissions by sector and state. We have five sectors: energy, industrial process, agriculture, waste, and land. But now pay attention to the purple column, the sector land use trends, and forestry. Among eight states, we can consider them into two groups based on this sector. One gets negative figures and another one gets the positive ones.
Okay, let me finish. Although Queensland has the biggest purple color column, it turns into positive. Therefore, it is obviously not good. While Tasmania, Western Australia, New South Wales, and Victoria have negative columns, which means they use the land effectively and reduce the amount of CO2 emissions. And that's also explain my previous questions about the color of Tasmania. They are really good at using land and forestry.
Excellent, Moon. No doubt you're so clever. Speaking of the sectors, among them, energy is the most significant factor in all of the states.
Wow, 94.56%. That's a crazy number.
I know about this sector energy. Here is the list of 394 registered corporations in Australia in 2015, and I picked up the top 10 of them in terms of CO2 emissions. Take a look, Moon.
Alright, I think I know all of them, especially Energy Australia, which is in second place. We'll share with you about later.
Cool. And you know what? From the donut chart, you can see these 10 companies produce the amount of the CO2 more than the combination of the rest.
Good news is many of them have been trying to reduce it. I'm gonna show you which one. Look at the graph, just a bit of explanation. The more large-scale generation liability, the better companies are in terms of percentage of renewable energy used and produced. So tell me how many companies in the top 10 have it?
I think four.
Not correct. Okay, so let's look at the graph that shows LGC only.
Turns out there are six out of them, and Energy Australia now is in the third place.
Correct. As I mentioned before, now I will tell you more information about Energy Australia. Energy Australia is one of the Australia's largest producer in terms of greenhouse gas, particularly CO2. In 2007, they committed to reduce the emissions and by 2050, they expected to produce emissions 60% less than they do now. And also, they really support renewable energy by a long-term agreement to buy the energy from wind farms.
Beautiful. Seems like the company have done a good job.
More than that, Australian government also have the programs and policy to support corporations in reducing their carbon footprints. You can find all the programs on the government website.
Great. In addition, I have the report for the projection in the future moon, not only for Australia, but also China and the United States. As we compare at the beginning, here it is.
It is likely the same trend, isn't it?
Yes. For more detail, by 2020, Australia is projected to decrease 12.6% from a 2005 base, while United States will decrease about 70%. China is in the opposite due to many factors. It is predicted they will increase by around 91% in 2020 compared to 2014. Sorry, compared to 2005.
Ah, good. I think we've got everything. Let's get ready for the final report.
And that's it, the end of the story. For more information or the transcript to fully understand due to the English pronunciation things, please feel free to contact them. Hong and Monn, they are here just around you.